Good afternoon, everyone. We'll be ready to start. We're going to start webinar. Welcome, Local District Central, MacArthur Park Community Schools families. Thank you for joining us today. We will get started shortly. Muy bienvenidos a todos por conectar con nosotros hoy a nuestro foro comunitario de la comunidad de escuela MacArthur Park. Vamos a empezar en unos segundos. Estamos permitiendo que entren todos los participantes y muchas gracias por estar con nosotros una vez más. Thank you, families. We're waiting for all our participants to come in. We will get started shortly. Muchas gracias por conectar. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get started. Welcome, everyone, to Local District Central's virtual town hall for the MacArthur Park Community of Schools. Before starting our session, I want to inform you that this town hall will be presented in English and will have simultaneous Spanish interpretation. To listen to this presentation in Spanish, you would need to click on the globe icon at the bottom of the screen and select the language preference for you. You will engage and listen to the presentation in the language you select. If your device does not support interpretation, such as some Chromebooks, at this time, you may use the Zoom app on your phone to connect to interpretation feature. Buenas tardes a todos y bienvenidos al foro comunitario de la comunidad de escuelas MacArthur Park. Antes de comenzar nuestra sesión, quiero informarles que este foro comunitario se presentará en inglés y tendrá interpretación simultánea en español. Para escuchar esta presentación en español, deberá hacer clic en el icono de globo en la parte inferior de la pantalla y va a seleccionar el idioma que prefiera. Participará y escuchará la presentación en el idioma que seleccione. Si su dispositivo no admite interpretación o no miran el icono del globo, algunos Chromebooks no tienen la interpretación. Si ese es el caso y ocupa interpretación, por favor, baje la aplicación Zoom y pueden escuchar la sesión de interpretación en la aplicación por teléfono. Next slide. I'd like to review some important points so that we all have an understanding on how to participate during today's session. During this webinar session, you will have an opportunity to ask questions of our panelists during the presentation. On your screen, you will see a Q&A icon, and you can type in your questions. At the conclusion of this presentation, we will have our panelists respond to as many questions that we can as time permits. Also, this session is being video recorded, and it's also being recorded on YouTube Live. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our local district superintendent, Mrs. Frances Baez. Mrs. Frances Baez, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ms. Arreguín. Muchas gracias. Buenas tardes. Es un gusto y placer estar con todos ustedes. It is my pleasure to be with all of you today here in this special town hall designated just for our MacArthur Park community of schools and all of the schools and students and families. I hope you've been experiencing a joyous moment of summer and that you are also in summer school. And you might notice that MacArthur Park Community of Schools has hosted summer school for students, and we have our students face-to-face with teachers, and that's one of the best places to be, and the best learning that takes place is on our campuses. So the topic for today is to understand the steps to return to school this fall. So this hour will be led by one of our community of school administrators who has been leading over 10,000 students, 2 early education centers, 3 primary centers, 7 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 4 schools in the Miguel Contreras complex, along with 1 options high school. So this presentation is tailored just for you. So they have also been coordinating a successful summer school effort. And as you know, and you might have noticed, this session is recorded on our website, but it's also on YouTube Live for greater access. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce a representative from Board District 2, Representative Monica Garcia. I want to introduce and welcome Ms. Sonia Reza. Ms. Sonia Reza, the floor is yours. Thank you for being with all of us today.
Thank you, Superintendent Baez. Hi, my name is Sonia Reza, joining you all on behalf of Board Member Monica Garcia and the Board District 2 team. We are so excited to welcome back our students and staff this year. Our schools are working hard to be safe spaces. Thank you for trusting in us. We will continue to work together towards wellness and on the way to 100% graduation. If you need anything, please feel free to call our office at 213-241-6180, and I will also put our information on the chat. Thank you, and I hand it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Reza. Thank you for being with us today. So as you know, we have been conducting summer school. We have high school summer programs, we have enrichment programs, we have face-to-face programming, so students are engaged in learning language arts, math, and many other fun courses. So we want to encourage all of you to prepare for summer. And so with that said, I want to now hand it off to our fearless community of school administrator who has been leading equity, innovation, and transformation for our community at MacArthur Park. Thank you, Dr. Charles D. Smith, for your leadership. I hand it over to you to help us understand the best way to return to school. I know you will help us understand the nuts and bolts and feel safe to return on August 16th. The floor is yours, Dr. Smith.
Thank you, Superintendent Baez. Transformation, equity, and innovation is at the center of our work this year. Thank you, Superintendent. Good evening, MacArthur Park community. I am Charles D. Smith, and it is indeed a pleasure to continue our partnership with each of you as we continue as the Communities of School Administrator for the MacArthur Park Communities of Schools. I come to you with over 25 years of educational experience where I have served as a teacher's assistant, college peer counselor, teacher, coordinator, assistant principal, and principal leading 2 schools, an elementary school and a kinder through 12th grade school in Koreatown. This evening, I would like to take a moment just to share a little bit about who I am as a passionate educator, advocate, and ultimate champion for all children and families. I attended Holmes Avenue for preschool, went on to 92nd Street Elementary School in Watts from kindergarten through 6th grade. My mother was a hardworking woman, spending many hours, long hours, working hard to support our family. It was because of her that I learned determination, hard work, and perseverance. As a student, I was blessed to have a loving and supporting family, as well as amazing teachers who continue to sow seeds of inspiration and hope into my young self. I can remember my teachers reminding me of how I was going to be successful and graduate from college. Those words continue to reinforce my ultimate goal of graduating from college and pursuing a career as an educator. Because of my love and support through advocacy, I will have continued to work with the push-pull mentality as I continue to work pushing forward and reaching behind me and assisting and pulling others with me. As I continue my work this year in the MacArthur Park communities of schools, I promise to lead with heart and work to make connections with each of you to ultimately make the best decisions for our students and our families. Thank you. Tonight, our agenda has three major buckets. Just to give you an overview of the communities of schools, just to tell you a little about who we are as MacArthur Park. Two, some highlights from summer school. We had over 600 of our students in classrooms in MacArthur Park this summer, in kinder through 8th grade at 5 of our schools. So I'll just share some information with you there. And of course, what everyone wants to know, the back to school, back to better, as we transition back to the classroom for full person instruction. So why communities of schools? As you know, LAUSD is a large school district, but our previous superintendent was very intentional with the structure and structuring our communities of schools so that we are partners within the community. We are creating a hub of resources, of partnerships, and an advocacy for you, our MacArthur Park communities of schools. Someone who continue to bring more resources to the MacArthur Park school community. Our communities of schools represent 18 schools, as Superintendent Bias mentioned previously. We have two early education centers, Cruz Early Education Center and Gratz Early Education Center, 3 primary centers, Lafayette Primary Center, Lake Street Primary Center, and Olympic Primary Center. 7 amazing elementary schools, 10th Street, Commonwealth, Esperanza, Gratz Learning Academy for Young Scholars, MacArthur Park Visual and Performing Arts, Union, and Charles White. Our middle school is John Lathy Middle School. We serve as the Sharks proudly. And our high school, we have the Miguel Contreras Complex that's comprised of 4 high schools, ALC, Business and Tourism, Global Studies, Social Justice, and we also have McAllister High School for young minor parents. We are currently located on the campus of Rosemont Elementary School, but this fall we are transitioning to 10th Street, closer to our neighborhood in which we serve. Our team is small but mighty. We have a brand new instructional coordinator who will have a moment to introduce himself briefly. We have Trisha Ferris, who is our Systems of Support Advisor, Anna Tenorio, who is our brand new parent education and coach, who will work directly with our parents in our community, and Guillermo Munoz, who is our IT solutions technician. At this time, I would like to invite Mr. Tim An to share and introduce himself. The floor is yours, Mr. An.
Hi, good evening, MacArthur Park Community Schools. My name is Tim An. I'm the instructional coordinator supporting Dr. Smith and serving the community of MacArthur Park. I worked in LAUSD for the past 16 years as a teacher of science, Korean, and health. I've also worked as an assistant principal and various coordinator positions at school sites and at the district. During my downtime, I love to work on my car, build furniture, and fix my house. With that said, please feel free to email me and contact me as you need. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Smith to go over some highlights during summer.
Thank you, Tim, and welcome again to our team. To support our community, MacArthur Park offered summer school enrichment programs at 10th Street Elementary School, Esperanza, Commonwealth, Union Avenue, and John Lathy Middle School. We served over 600 students on a daily basis, providing students with learning, hot meals, and great opportunities to learn. We also offered enrichment programs, after-school programs, and virtual field trips. Along with the enrichment programs, our high school provided credit recovery in which 15 students are graduating after this Friday. That is something to be appreciated. Congratulations. Next slide. Here are some photos of our classrooms. Students are live, happy learners, and in person. We actually had a visit from our superintendent herself, Ms. Frances Baez, where she was able to observe and participate in teaching and learning at Commonwealth Elementary Schools. Go Condors. Next slide. Now, our third bucket this evening is back to school for full person instruction. Our agenda will cover, we're back. What does it look like to come back as we transition for August 16th? Welcome back to school. What will our welcome look like? Our principals are now back and preparing for this very first day. A day and a campus, on a campus, what it will look like. We want all of our students and families to feel comfortable and ensured that they are safe as we return back to campus. So our commitment to safety will be covered. And how might we stay safe? Yes, you have some questions regarding masks, and masks will be worn by all students, staff, and personnel on campus. Our online independent learning program. What does the independent learning program look like in our school district? And back to school, and you'll have an opportunity to answer any of your hot burning questions. Thank you. Next slide. Welcome back. As I stated before, we are thrilled and excited to welcome our students back to in-person instruction on Monday, August 16th. We will be sharing the many ways to welcome our students back and what to look forward to as you return. This information is our family guide. All of our families should have received a copy of our family guide in the week of July 12th. No fear, if you haven't received it, we will place a link in the chat for English and in Spanish so that you may have a personalized guide to go through this weekend with your family. Next slide. Our teachers and staff are excited to see our students back on campus. For our early education centers and elementary schools, you're right, 5 days a week for full day in-person instruction. Secondary schools, yes, 5 days a week as well for full schedule in-person instruction. Students will have the ability to move from class to class as we did post-COVID. So that is something to be excited about. And we had several of our students just share how they felt about returning back to campus. They were excited about meeting their campus and seeing their school for the first time. We have so many kindergarten students who were at our elementary schools this summer. That was their very first time on their elementary campus. Isn't that surprising? Our students deserve better. They deserve to return back to campus. They want to be interacting with their friends and their teachers. Some of our students even commented that they would love to have a face-to-face conversation with the teacher that they're teaching them. We all know what that feels like to have a teacher who believes in you, who talks to you constantly and encourages you. That's the same respect that our students want as we return back to campus on August 16th. Our schools are gearing up and providing all the sorts of supports possible for our students, including additional staff for reading and math, tutoring, small group instruction, and technology. Additionally, student wellness and support is also available for our students and families. If you should need assistance and support, please contact our hotline. The number is 213-241-3840. I'll repeat that, 213-241-3840. There are plenty of resources available for our students and our families, so please reach out. Next slide. A day on the campus. A day on the campus. I know you're excited about August 16. What will it look like? Transportation. Our bus drivers are ready to welcome our students back. School bus transportation will be provided for those who qualify. I know you have questions regarding recess, nutrition, and lunch. Our elementary students will use the playground equipment. They will play during recess and lunch. There will be nutrition breaks and lunch for our secondary students as well. And in addition, our after-school programs will be available for all students until 6 p.m. Athletics events, high school athletics. I know many of our students are so excited to play their final days in high school. All athletic events in our high schools will resume. Our commitment to safety. Yes, LA Unified is safety first, right? We are committed to the safety of all of our communities as we welcome everyone back. LA Unified has in place the highest set of safety standards in any district in the nation. The upgraded air filtration systems, regular cleaning protocols, and frequent sanitizing is some ways in which we are prepared to receive our students. Masks will be worn and required for all students, staff, visitors while on campus. Keep in mind, fully vaccinated students and employees are not required to test. We encourage everyone, all students 12 years old or older, and families to get vaccinated. Next slide. Now, as we prepare to welcome everyone back, our Los Angeles Unified Medical Doctor, Dr. Smita Malhotra, will now share some information about safety measures we have in place in preparation for our full in-person return for the fall.
Hello, my name is Dr. Smita Malhotra, Medical Director for Los Angeles Unified. We are excited to share with you our plans to resume full in-person instruction for all students this August. We are committed to the safety of our school communities as we welcome everyone back to school. As a pediatrician and mother of a Los Angeles Unified student, I understand that the decision to send your child back to school can be nerve-wracking. But I want to reassure you that we have the highest safety and mitigation measures in place to keep our schools safe. This was evident when we reopened schools this past year. Los Angeles Unified has in place the highest set of safety standards of any school district in the nation. Our air filtration systems have been upgraded in every school, and the air is filtered through the equivalent of an N95 mask. In addition, schools have all the necessary supplies, including masks and personal protective equipment. Our custodial staff has been increased to keep our schools clean and safe, and all unvaccinated students and staff on campus will continue to test for COVID-19. These safety measures will continue to be in place when the new school year starts on Monday, August 16th. Face masks will be required for all students, staff, and visitors while on campus. Physical distancing will be based on the latest Los Angeles County Department of Public Health guidelines. Daily health checks will be required for all students, staff, and visitors before coming on campus. The Daily Pass can be used to answer health screening questions prior to coming on campus, or questions can be answered verbally before entry. COVID-19 testing will continue for students and employees on campus. Stationary test sites and traveling teams will continue to provide COVID-19 testing. Starting this coming school year, fully vaccinated students and employees are not required to test. So we encourage you to consider getting your eligible family members vaccinated. To upload external vaccination records, please go to dailypass.lausd.net. All students ages 12 and older are encouraged to make an appointment to be vaccinated at the most convenient location. Families can call the Los Angeles Unified Family Vaccination Hotline at 213-328-3958 for support and to have their questions answered. Los Angeles Unified will offer full-day in-person programs to all students 5 days a week on all its campuses. Much more information about what this will look like will be shared by your school principal before school begins. We are committed to safety for our school communities as we welcome everyone back to school. We look forward to welcoming your children back to in-person learning.
All right. Wasn't that an educational video? We had full scope of what the return will look like come August 16th. Staying safe. As previously shared in our video, keeping our students safe is our top priority for all of us. Here are the different ways in which we are making sure that students are safe. We are assuring that all students and staff wear face masks while on campus. If your child does not have a face mask, that's okay. Our schools will have extra face masks and will provide face masks for all students as well. Our team of health experts are constantly reviewing the guidelines provided from our health officials in deciding the best recommendations for our schools regarding physical distancing and daily health screenings. Fully vaccinated students and staff do not need testing starting August 1st. If you did not receive vaccination through LAUSD, you can upload your vaccination records through dailypass.lausd.net. We are encouraging all eligible students 12 or older to get their COVID-19 vaccine by calling 213-328-3958. Once again, 213-328-3958. All right, our online program. An online program will be available for families with medical, social, emotional, and other concerns. The program is an independent study program through the City of Angels. So it's not a program on our campus, but it is a program facilitated through City of Angels. We are requesting families to let us know by July 30th if they're planning to enroll in the online independent study program at City of Angels. However, like all independent study programs, families may request the independent study program at City of Angels at any time. Families can switch at any time between in-person and the independent study program at City of Angels. Before starting with the independent study online program, a meeting will be held with the parent, student, and the City of Angels staff to discuss the program. This meeting is required before students are to enroll in the program. If you elected the online program, we have made multiple calls to follow up to help you know that our program, our independent study program, is at City of Angels. Back to school checklist. We know as you prepare, as everyone does, we know Target and Walmart and all of the stores are already gearing up for back to school. We want our households to gear up as well. So we've provided a handy back to school checklist. As your family prepares for the next school year, the Family Guide also has a back to school checklist that you can review before you start on August 16th. To find out our latest COVID testing requirements, you can visit the district website at achieve.lausd.net/COVID testing APPT. It is important that that your child brings a face mask to school, but as previously mentioned, we will have a supply of face masks at all of our schools. Have all or any eligible family members 12 and older to get their COVID-19 vaccination. Sign up to get your parent portal account by visiting the LAUSD website. Please take a moment to get your parent portal account if you don't have one already, as our parent portal account provides a wealth of knowledge and information for our families. Please begin now. We have about 25 more days before the first day of school. Please begin early, setting routines and rituals and establish best practices, having our students go to bed at a set time and waking up at a set hour, practicing with their face masks so they can get adjusted and acquainted to the idea of wearing a face mask all day. All right. Frequently asked questions. So please visit the Los Angeles Unified website for the most up-to-date information regarding the back to school preparations. We will place in the chat our FAQ. Some of the questions that you may have that are burning already, we have a link for that. Some of those questions that keep coming up, we have the answers. So we're going to put a link in the chat, one for English and one for Spanish, with our frequently asked questions. At this time, we'll go to our next slide. So now I've shared all of the information that's in our family guide as we prepare for our very first day back to school. We've had plenty of practice. Last spring, we came back. Some students came on campus. Some students were online. This summer, MacArthur Park alone had over 600 students daily at our schools and campuses with face-to-face instructions as an option. So now it's time for questions and answers. What questions might you have? Still burning questions that you have that we haven't covered tonight in our presentation. Next slide. Helene?
There is a question in the chat. They're asking whether there'll be any hybrid programs.
Thank you for that question, Helene. As of this moment, we have a program that's full day in person at our elementary schools and our high school 5 days a week. If a family would like to opt to select the independent study program at the City of Angels, that is the other alternate option for our families at this time.
So they're also asking about the online programs at City of Angels. Are they all day or half day?
Great question. So keeping in mind that our online program, our independent study program, is an independent study program. So students will have a few hours where they will connect with a teacher, but remember, it is an independent study program, so it will be independently done. Asynchronous learning some portions of the day, and some synchronous learning with some of the teachers that you'll connect with at City of Angels.
And also full-time, is that meaning 8 to 2:15?
For City of
In-person
Angels, no. The City of Angels
No, I
program.
actually think it was for in-person school.
Oh, in-person schooling. Yes, in-person schooling will return back to our normal business hours. I would advise that each and every one of us on the call contact your local school, and all of our principals are gearing up to have a personalized town hall specifically for the needs and information regarding to school for their campus as well. So we had one in the big district. Our LAUSD has been offering information. Our local district central, home of the champions, have been offering information. Today is the MacArthur Park Communities of Schools. So all the different levels of communication. We want to make sure that all of our families have all of the information necessary so that they know that LA Unified have taken all the precautions for a safe return for that we can support our students with teaching and learning.
So there's a question here regarding the magnet, the LACMA Visual Arts Magnet. It's from a parent about magnet spots. Can we go back to the magnet if they go to the independent online learning for a time? Are they able to come back to their magnet?
Yes. So as you know, with the City of Angels independent program, you will enroll in City of Angels. But those of you who are at Charles White Magnet program, you will have an opportunity. Your space will be reserved for you. So when you return back to Charles White, you may have that opportunity to do so. So your magnet seat will stay available for you. But please
Again,
keep in mind,
I'm sorry. Sorry, doctor.
just please keep in mind that while you're at City of Angels, you're no longer enrolled in Charles White at the time. Okay. Yes.
And I think this parent is asking, will there still be online learning at their home school? That's a question as well.
Great question. Will there be online learning at their home school? No, we are returning back to full in-person learning at all of our home schools, full day, 5 days a week, regular hours. So all of our home schools will offer in-person, full in-person instruction. Our online independent option will be City of Angels. Great questions.
There's a question here in the chat that's in Spanish. If Mr. Ochoa can take a look at the last two questions, please.
Thank you. Great questions, parents. Thank you for all of the questions. I hope that we were able to provide information that is very useful, that will help you in your planning. I will share my contact information as we conclude later in the evening so that you feel free to reach out to me. If you have any questions that we didn't answer tonight, my job is to support you, to give you the personalized support to help you and your family have a successful educational experience as we continue our work together.
There's another question about returning back to the homeschool if they go to City of Angels. Will they be able to do that at any time, or will there be a waiting period?
They will be able to return to their homeschool. We do know that continuity is important. We want our students to have the best educational experience, and consistency matters, right? And so we really want our families to stay and at least try to do the semester at our homeschool and full in-person instruction, or the other option, if just consistency. Our students would benefit from a consistent approach. We would not like our students to go from one place to another and switch back again. So just keep that in mind as we make those decisions and how they impact the educational process. And
Dr. Smith, there are three questions in Spanish. The first one is they want to know if the students will return back to school every single day.
Yes, great question. Thank you. So all of our students in EECs, elementary, middle, and high school will return back to the normal post-COVID hours. So 5 days a week, full day instruction at all of our schools in LA Unified.
The other question was, can the parent change their mind about the options anytime?
Yes, as of right now, keep in mind, we can change our mind. However, just keep in mind that we want consistency and continuity of learning for our students. So that's one of those decisions that we really want all of our families to think about as we make the decision to go from our homeschool to the independent study program.
Another question, how often are the students required?
I believe I'm going to invite Tony Cortez to come. I believe the question was, how often will students be required to get a COVID test, those students who are not vaccinated? I'm going to invite Tony to come.
Yes, thank you. All students who return to school will be required to have a baseline test, and after their baseline test, students who are not vaccinated will test weekly. Students who are vaccinated will not need to test unless they are exposed, and we want to confirm that they are negative.
Thank you, Tony. Tony is our operations coordinator. He is a great resource for our school community as well. So you will get an opportunity to meet him at some point personally. Thank you, Tony.
I think there's also a question regarding, do students need to be vaccinated to come to school?
That's a great question. And we are not requiring a vaccination. However, in order to get past this COVID-19 pandemic, we do recommend that as many people as who are eligible do take advantage and get that vaccine.
And they also want to know if we are monitoring what's happening with COVID in the news and preparing for that as well.
Yes, all of our answers and information that we have shared is based on current data. We are working with our medical expert partners and the Los Angeles County Health Department to make sure that we are making the best decisions possible for a safe return to our schools.
Okay, where can parents find information about the online learning?
Actually, I'm going to have Tim go back to that slide. If you can go back to that slide for me, Tim, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. We just want to make sure that you have the information and the number for our online learning program. Actually, if we could place that link in the chat for the online program. But our number for the online learning program is 323-415-8350. Once again, that's 323-415-8350. And you can also visit the City of Angels website at www.cityofangelschool.org. That's www.cityofangelschool.org. GELSSCHOOL.org. Okay.
So there's also a question in the chat, Dr. Smith, about whether City of Angels will be offering AP courses and gifted curriculum and magnet courses.
So that would be that conversation will take place at your initial conversation with City of Angels. As I mentioned previously, every every student and family who opt to have the independent study program will have a one-on-one interview, and that's when that information will be shared and discussed. Thank you, Ms. Cameron, for that question. All right. I think we got through most of our questions this evening. Thank you again, families, for joining us tonight during our town hall. Please, as I mentioned earlier, all 18 schools within MacArthur Park will host a personalized event that will answer any specific questions relative to their instructional program in their class at their school as we transition to opening. I ask that everyone visit our website. Here is a QR code to our website. It's MacArthur Park's Communities of Schools. Please, we have daily updates. We constantly share information using our social media. We are socially conscious, and we can visit us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at MacParkCOS. That's MacParkCOS on all three of the social media outlets. You can also find us on YouTube. Tonight's video will be uploaded, and we are streaming live on YouTube tonight. So thank you again for that information. Next slide. And here is my contact information, my email, as well as my phone number. Please let me know how might we assist you as we continue to work together to maximize our students' fullest potential. We want all of our students to be successful. We know that they can. We will do everything in our power to push and encourage them to do so. And we do that as a community. So thank you again for joining our Communities of Schools Town Hall, the MacArthur Park Communities of Schools. I am Dr. Smith, and remember, Dr. Smith loves you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Thank you for joining us. Have a good evening.